Hello and welcome. My name is Coach Devender, and welcome today to this exploratory webinar. And it's called Why Your Social Media Profile is Your Business Card 2.0. So the idea here is to let's have explore the concept of your social media profile as a way of establishing your positioning, building trust with people you are meeting and who are meeting you, and as a powerful business tool. I am assuming here that if you're watching this, if you're participating in this webinar, that you are using or you want to use your social media presence on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, or any other of those general social media platforms, that you want to use those platforms as a way to promote who you are and what you do so that you can get more and better clients. I'm making that assumption up front, and if that's not exactly what you want to do, if you want to use also your social media profile to communicate with friends and family, at the end of this I have a couple of suggestions for you around that. So why your social media profile is your business card 2.0. And so the premise here, I really believe that your social media profile page on no matter what platform that you want to use, the profile pages now, more than ever, are becoming more and more important, and it's replacing your business card. I conducted a networking event yesterday, and I noticed that a couple of people did not have business cards. They just say, go check me out on Facebook. That's becoming more and more the way of doing it. I also have a business card which has a QR code on it, a quick response code, and I've been testing that out, and more people are interested in that, using direct links to social media and letting the profile pages on social media speak for who you are. And it's important to remember, as a user, we tend to look at, I know sometimes I get into the mindset that what I'm seeing on my wall in terms of everyday interaction, what I see on my wall is what everybody else sees on their walls. That's not the case. When other people want to see me, for example, on Facebook, they will click on my name and see my profile page. That's what speaks to them. And the recent rollout, the recent change of Facebook timeline makes that profile page even more important. And so that's why I wanted to do this webinar with you, to go over the principles of your profile pages, what it means, and how you can make them much more powerful. Because I see a lot of professionals who on social media, their profile pages are really weak. They spend lots of money on their website, but that's not the first place people will go to. Most people now, and I'm going to say Facebook because that's the dominant platform, but also LinkedIn, Twitter, and G+, that's the first interaction many people are going to have with you, even before they get to your very expensive web page. So the outline I want to talk about today is 4 main points. Why your profile page is important, what should be on your page, what should not be on your page, and I want to spend a couple of moments specifically about Facebook timeline. Again, I think, I'm not always in agreement with what Facebook does, but Facebook timeline, for me, since I use Facebook as a promotional tool, and mainly as a promotional tool for my business, I'm really excited about this new development. Okay, so let's start. Your profile page. What is it? Well, basically, it's your home base on social media. So if you look at, I'm going to see if I can share my, just a moment here, share my screen. And I want to share, I think this is it, just a moment. There we go. So you should be seeing my, there it is. So your profile page is now the main entry point. When people meet you for the first time, they're going to go to your profile page. On Google, I'm not too sure about Bing, but I'm going to make an assumption here. On most search engines now, they will place your social profile, social media profile pages at the top of any search that people will do for you. And personally, I believe that, especially as a solo, people are not going to find me via search engine optimization. They're not going, the people who type in, business coach based in Quebec City, they may find me at the top of the list, they may not. But those are not the kinds of clients that I want. I don't want people who find me by accident. I want people who find me because of word of mouth, because they've heard of me, because they want to work with me. So very often, the people who are looking for you on search engines will type in your name. They hear about you, or they read about you, or they see you somewhere, and that's how they're going to find you. And at the top, and do this test for yourself. I think you'll find at the top of your, if I can even do this search right now, just a moment here. So if I type in my name, Devender Gupta, what comes up, as you see, what comes up is my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my Twitter. Yes, my site is up there, but my social media pages are really the first contact that people will have with me. That's why your profile pages are really important. And I see a lot of profiles which are empty, or they are not communicating the potential and the professionalism of the person that they're supposed to represent. So I'm just going to try, Marcy, I'm just going to try your name just out of curiosity, Marcy Jenkins. So as you see here, LinkedIn, there's your Google Plus, your Facebook, of course your Book Yourself Solid Amplified is up there also, and your website. So you see that your social media presence comes on that first page. They will want, that's how people will find you, and that's why it's really important to have your social media profile pages have them very well built. Okay, as I go back to sharing my document, here we go. Oops, I hope this is the right one. There we go. All right. Come on. Let's go. Next one. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm sharing the wrong one. This is going to be interesting here, going back and forth. Okay. I told you that this would be a bit of a test. Okay, here we go. Because I have two versions of the same, there it is. Because I have two versions of the same presentation. So your profile page is your main presentation. I also mentioned here it's the best and the cheapest search engine optimization. Again, because people will tend to find you first by your name, not by what you do. And the big question to ask yourself, what is the story that your profile page tells about you? Your profile page should tell a story. And that's why I'm really excited about Facebook Timeline, because it is directly with the content you've created and the information that you put there. It is a scrapbook that explains who you are. It's what I call the professional portfolio. I'm going to mention that today, to think of your profile pages as your professional portfolio. So what should be on a profile? Every profile needs a professional photo. Please go get a professional photo made. And if you don't have one, even something that you get at Sears or something like that, that will do in a pinch, at least to start off with. And if you have a friend who's a professional photographer, make friends with them and get them to do a professional portrait of you. I was very, very fortunate that last fall, a friend of mine who is a professional photographer was available, and she did some fantastic shots that I absolutely love. And so that gave me a whole new level of visual presentation, which you see when you look at my screen. So if you look at my profile page, share my screen. Here we go on. If you go to, for example, on my Facebook, so the fact that my friend made this wonderful portrait of me and I use it now, and that's part of my branding, and I'm very, very proud of this, and very, very grateful for my photographer friend for doing this for me. And her name is Nathalie Quirillon, and she's based in Montreal, Quebec. So what should be on your page is a professional photo. Also, include your job. Sorry, before that, include a kind of a tagline. And if you see here, this is my LinkedIn profile. I have a tagline that sums up who I am, what I offer, and who I offer it for. This takes work, and it's not the perfect tagline, but it does the job. I've created this title for me, which I call Venture Catalyst, and I'm using it more and more to communicate who I am and the impact that I have with people. But have a title there that is descriptive, because what happens, for example, on LinkedIn, if I go here, I believe on my LinkedIn signed in page, people are asking for, let's say, okay, great, I have some invitations here. Some of the invitations may be in French, but it'll give you here. So for example, these are the title that you give yourself comes onto the it's everywhere on the network. That's how people see you. So your title becomes very, very important. Of course, a description of your jobs, and fill in the description of the jobs. Fill in what you did, what you learned, what you're accomplishing. Give people an idea, not just president of your own company. That's not descriptive enough. Go much more in details about what you're actually doing, because it's through your job history, that's how you're establishing your credibility. Now keep in mind, your social media job description, if I go here, I'm just trying to think here, how do people say it, see it? Okay, update info. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a resume. So I see people, especially people who are maybe 35, 40, 45 years old, and they list all of their jobs going back to when they were in high school and their summer jobs. That's not necessary. It's not a resume. It does not have to be chronologically complete. Include the jobs, the positions, the responsibilities that back up the story that you want to tell about who you are and what you're doing now, the impact that you're creating now. If a job doesn't fit, like if you've changed careers and your past career doesn't fit with what you're doing now, don't include that. Again, your profile is not a resume. The job of your profile is to build your credibility, is to tell the story of who you are and what you're doing. Okay, just a moment here. Great. Another piece that you want to have on your page, and so I'm sort of flipping here between Facebook and I'm going back here. There it is. What you want to have also, you want to make sure that the content that's on your Facebook timeline, and same thing, if I pick up on if I go back to my home on LinkedIn, so you see here the groups that I'm a member of, and I'm a member of a lot of groups on LinkedIn because I want to keep in touch with different things. But I've hidden several groups that don't necessarily tell the story of what I offer to my clients. So this is what is called a curated list. It's a cleaned out list. I've curated my profile page to show you what I believe the elements that will really tell the story of my competence and my credibility. Um, I believe here, okay, so this is if I'm not signed in. And if I'm signed in, what people will see is this, is my profile here. So they will see, for example, my activity. They may see, so all my blog posts and my activities. And again, when I'm on social media using my business accounts, I really keep it focused on just business content, because I'm using these tools as my interactive business card. It's my business card 2.0. Now, interesting here, you're going to find, for example, on LinkedIn and things like that, many of these sites, Facebook's the same way, LinkedIn is the same way, Google Plus also, they want you to enter a lot of stuff. Be very choosy about what you enter. In my case, I'm not really keen about entering my skills and things like that, because I believe that's more for somebody who's looking for job positions. So I'm going to skip that here. I don't put my, and it comes back, of course. I'm not necessarily interested in putting my birth date or my hometown, or a lot of these details that you're going to find when your Facebook comes to this new timeline. They're going to want you to put a lot of your personal information in it, because they want this to be the scrapbook of your life. My suggestion is to be very choosy about what information you put, and assume that anything that you put is going to be seen by everybody, even if you try and hide it, even if you just set the privacy just for yourself, or just for family and friends, or just for a local geographic area. Assume that everything that you put, everybody's going to see. So ask yourself, is this something that I want people to see in 1, 2, 3, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? We don't know where Facebook is going to go, where LinkedIn is going to go in terms of research capability and things like that. And it goes back to this concept. It's a kind of a jujitsu kind of move. I know that social media wants information about me as a person so they can sell me stuff. But I want to use their platform so that it serves me, not Facebook, not LinkedIn. So I'm going to put on my social media pages just enough information so that people can get a sense of who I am, and will want to do business with me. These become my advertisements. Okay, as I go back to, I think those were the points I wanted to say here. Okay, here we go. And back to, I think this is it. Yes. So direct links to your business site. Oh yes, make sure you have current links to your business site and to your other social media profiles also. Current jobs, relevant, minimize personal information. So I covered those elements. So that's what should be on your profile. Think of your profile as your professional portfolio. I don't know if you have artist friends or photographer friends or people who deal with visual media. They tend to carry around a portfolio, like a big case where they have like a scrapbook of their achievements, of their work. Well, that's what your social media profile pages are, especially now. I sort of joked the other day that Facebook now has become scrapbooking central. That's the idea. It used to be Facebook was your status. What's happening now? That was the big thing that Facebook was pushing. But now, if you look at if you look at and if we go back here, let's see if I can get this. Share my screen. Excuse me. Here we go. So if you look at the new Facebook timeline, what is happening is that it really has become a scrapbook. You go into your past, and if you don't have timeline up yet, it'll be rolling out over the next couple of days. So it goes back in time, and you can go back all the way. If I look up here, I can go back all the way, for example, when I first joined Facebook in 2009 and before. So it really is become a scrapbook of your past. And when I meet somebody now on Facebook, I want to go into their profile and look back, get a sense of who they are. And so your professional portfolio becomes how you communicate your competence and your relevance. So how good you are and how important you are for the person who's looking at your profile. So you're communicating competence and relevance. So you want to make sure that the content that you have on your pages really communicates your story. And so there are, and as you can see here, that Facebook has put a big emphasis on pictures. The pictures really pop out. So you may want to go back in your Facebook profiles and clean up your pictures, because even though you may be using it for personal and business, and by the way, I do not recommend that you use one Facebook profile for both. Have a Facebook profile that's your business profile, to which you connect your fan pages for your business, and have one that's completely separate that you use for family and friends, and that you put your bikini photographs on, or your mankini photographs on. That you don't want that stuff on your business profile. And because it's the business profile that you want to direct people to. And by business profile, I mean where you share the following things. So the business profile becomes your professional portfolio, where you share the following things. And here we go. I'm just going to go back. I'm getting pretty good at this. Share document. And this is the document I want to share. And it should come up. Yes. Wait a minute. Yes, okay. It just took a moment to come up. 5 types of content. That's what you want to have on your professional portfolio. Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Google+. If you're posting something, make sure it fits into one of these categories. Education. So stuff, these can be blog posts, this can be stuff by other people, it can be stuff that you generate yourself, but it is communicating what you have learned from your clients, what you've learned from your professional life, and you're sharing that. You're educating your customers. You're preparing them to work with you. Demonstration, how to do something. And that's very, very powerful. I want my clients to know my secrets, because I know they're not going to implement my secrets until they hire me to work with them. So feel free, demonstrate, share your knowledge, show people how to do it, and that will build confidence that will build their confidence in you, that you know what you're talking about. And as you are delivering your service, they will be able to follow along, and they'll be able to trust the process. Opinion. I think is really important to share your opinion, and to have an opinion that's very much your own, not just parroting what other people say, but where you provide your point of view based on your experience, on your knowledge, on your qualifications, on your background. You have an opinion. Share your opinion. The whole goal of this, remember, is to attract people who value what you have to offer and who are ready to commit. That's where you want to go with all of this. Recommendation. You know, if you read a book that you really like and you want to recommend, see a video, photographs, resources, websites, share other information. You become the information curator. meaning that you become a source of trusted information for your clients in your field. Whether you are a lawyer, whether you're an accountant, whether you are a consultant, whether you are a coach, what you want to do is you want to have people come to you first. So as you are sharing your recommendations, and the better quality of those recommendations that you're giving, that's what's going to make people come to you, because they'll trust you. And finally, information, the news, the happening, the latest trends. So to build this professional portfolio, to demonstrate your competence and your relevance. Your competence, what you know, and your relevance, how important you are to your client. So as you are adding these types of contents to your timelines in Twitter, in Facebook, in LinkedIn, people will start to build that confidence, that trust, that connection of trust. They'll start to build that with you. And it takes time, but it becomes really, really interesting, because I love to connect with people who have very rich professional portfolios. When I go to their LinkedIn site, there's lots of good stuff. When I go to their Facebook page, they're talking about what they're passionate about, what they do in lives, what they're doing in their professional lives to help people. Those are the kinds of people I want to connect with. Those are the kinds of people I want to do business with. Just your qualifications nowadays, it's not enough. Your qualifications, so the letters behind your name, that's just the price of entry. You're not even at the starting point with qualifications nowadays. It is about building that credibility and building that relevance that will get people to come to you, and that will get people who recognize the value of what you are offering and who are ready to commit. That's why your professional portfolio on social media is so powerful. 1/10 of the population of the earth is on social media right now, and that means a good percentage of the kinds of people that you want to get as clients, they're on Facebook, they're on LinkedIn, they're on Twitter. Okay, remember, your profile page is not a resume, so feel free to delete anything that you're not proud of, that doesn't communicate your competence or your relevance. Personal information, minimize it. I don't care what your birth date is. If you want to put a birth date, invent a birth date that's yours, but that's not your real birth date. Just invent a day that becomes your day that you use everywhere on social media. You don't have to put your real birth date on there. And because on one hand, it's a privacy issue. On another hand, it just doesn't matter. I don't put my birth dates anywhere if I can avoid it. And if you want to use social media for personal communication, communicating with family and friends, use a separate profile and have just those people who you want to communicate with connected to your personal profile. Otherwise, your main profile that you use to position yourself on social media, use it for business only, and communicate only business stuff. Those 5 elements that I mentioned before. That's what you want to have on your profile. Clean up anything that is not evergreen. Ask yourself when you post something, is this a temporary post, or is this something that when I look back 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, what I still want to see it up there? Right now, I'm doing a big cleanup of my Facebook in preparation for Timeline. So I'm going month by month, and I'm deleting stuff that was relevant a couple of years ago, but is no longer relevant now. I'm removing links from pictures. I am doing a big cleanup, and you will need to do that. That's just par for the course because of this shift. That's why I say this timeline shift is a huge shift in paradigm for Facebook, going from just how you are right now in the moment to becoming the scrapbook of your life. Preparing for Facebook Timeline. I mentioned Timeline a lot because I think it's a game changer. And I'm very excited about it because now this concept of professional portfolio that I've been mentioning for a long time is coming front and center. So do like I've been doing. Clean up your personal profile. Clean up your content. Tighten up your links. So if you're linking to various pages on Facebook, your fan pages, like the pages that you like, the groups that you're a member of, now's the time to go and clean everything up. Delete, delete, delete. You only want to have showing on your profile items that build your credibility and your relevance. Those, your competence, your credibility, and your relevance. So how good you are and how important you are for people. Assume everybody can see everything. It's not enough just to hide what you have. You need to delete it or change it if you can. So it will take time, and it will take time for people to understand what the new timeline is about. But you can have a head start and make sure that your timeline, which is what people will see. People do not see your wall when they click on your name. They see your timeline. That is so important. So what other people put on your wall actually goes on your timeline. So you'll want to go back in your timeline and make sure, if you've kept your wall open for comments by all kinds of people, you're going to have to clean all that stuff up. And so look at your profile, look at your privacy settings, and make sure that going forward, the only things that you have on your social media pages are the elements that describe who you are and that build your credibility and your relevance. Conclusion. Well, I really believe that your profile pages are a powerful business card to help you attract clients who value what you have to offer and who are ready to engage with you. I believe it becomes the most important business card that you have. And more people on their paper business cards, what they will be putting is their SMS number, so you can send them text, their email address, and their Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. That's all you're going to see on business cards now. You're not going to see physical addresses. I've never put a physical address on my business card because it has no relevance. I do business anywhere where there's an internet connection. And all the other stuff that ends up being on business cards, that's going, that's going away. People will want to see you. Yes, they'll come to visit your site, but I know I always Google a person's name when I meet them, and the first place I go is not their site. It is their social media pages, and more people are going to be doing that. So clean up your sites, clean up your timelines, tighten up how you are presenting yourself, get good photos, focus on the 5 types of information. Education, opinion, recommendation. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a little bit blank, and I do want to bring that up because I think that's really important. Here it is. Education, demonstration, opinion, recommendation, information. That's the kind of stuff you should be putting on your social media sites from now on. That's the core of what I wanted to communicate with you today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And of course, and this is something you may want to look at too. If you look at my Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google, what's in common with there? I'm using the same handle everywhere, Coach Devender, whether I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Google. And you may want to look at your handles, at your Twitter names and Facebook names, etc., to see how you can make them all the same, so that people can find you everywhere. And I'm also I'm registered. I have accounts on different sites that I don't necessarily use, like Quora and other ones. And I'm using always the same name because I want to reserve that name for me. So that's something else you may want to add. But definitely take a look at my timelines, take a look at my profile pages. It's not perfect. I still have a lot of work to do on them. But I see that the social media pages are important. Take the time to set them up properly. It doesn't cost you a penny. and it can pay off really, really big. So that's the message I have for you today. I'm curious before we sign off, do you have any quick questions? As we go here, I'm just taking a look here. I'm looking at my chat. I see a couple of people are typing. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome, and I'm glad this is helpful. This recording will be up on my blog, From Passion to Profit. I'm putting it up on my blog in the next couple of days, and I want to put an article with this too, with many of the key points we covered today. But I appreciate you being here so I could create this little video also. Excellent. Have a great day. I look forward to checking out your social media pages. So you've been put on notice, and so take the time, clean them up, and have those pages be a faithful expression of your story, of how good you are and why you're important to people. That's what I hope the story of your professional portfolio becomes. So have a great day. Best of success.